Hey guys, welcome back to K2 Paranormal. It's Jackson here again. This is just the second little part of my intro video for YouTube, if that's what you want to call it. So I said I was going to talk quickly about EMF and EVPs, so I'll get onto that and we'll get through it. It is raining outside, so perfect time to be doing this sort of stuff. EMF is electromagnetic fields, and ghost hunters, paranormal investigators, like we use an array of equipment. With the field meters, we're all very familiar with, and I'll turn it on here, is the K2 meter. Now this basically just picks up on energy fields like currents and stuff, but I've tested it out like at home with appliances like microwaves to see how it reacts. So when I'm out in the actual field, I can actually gauge that as to how much energy is in an area, or whatever the spirit is, or whatever I'm doing, whatever the investigation is. So these are a great little walk around tool. They pick up like a lot of residual energy. So normally when you go into a place, I just do a quick ground sweep with these where you are, pick out certain spots, and then you can sort of hit those areas later. Sometimes things move around and you'll capture something somewhere and then it's not there again. So these are a great indicator for that. I wouldn't rely solely on one piece of equipment. I do use a lot of different equipment when I'm doing investigations. The other little device I've got here is, a lot of people use these. These are the REM pods. These work on the same principle, but these are more like a proximity, like the closer you get. It does have little lights, and I'll light it up there so you can see those lights. Now as you get closer to these lights, they will light up and a little noise goes off, and they're great. You can leave them off in the distance, you can hear them. This one here, I'll turn it off. These ones here actually have a degree meter or temperature setting for room atmosphere. So when you leave it, you can actually have two settings on it. So you'll have like the EMF and the temperature on it. So when your room temperature drops, this will actually alert you, as well as having the lights in color array come up as to how strong something is. You can use them for residual. You can also use them for yes and no, like those, I think they're a flux little meter, little triangle ones for yes and no. So these things work basically on the same principle as that. I don't have much else in the way of, I do have a little coffin music box sensory thing, so when it's activated it makes a little creepy noise. I don't really use that one very much. About the year 2000s, they actually started making all these like field meters and all this fancy paranormal equipment, so ghost hunters or investigators could actually go out and conduct these things on their own and capture evidence of the afterlife of paranormal stuff. But unfortunately, when people are going into haunted places or abandoned places, they actually led to a lot of deaths and falls. There were a few shooting deaths as well, and that was because people weren't supposed to be where they were, trespassing and that. So wherever you go, just make sure that you've got permission to be there, or just check it out in the day or whatever. The next thing is EVP. So EVP stands for electronic voice phenomenon, and these were around 1840 to 1940s. That was what was known as the spiritualist movement. Thomas Edison, he had a lot of inventions, and a lot of these investigators and research people actually asked him to make some equipment for this paranormal research stuff, for contacting the dead. In 1956 there was a reel-to-reel tape recorder, so like just the old tape recorders, that was actually successful in contacting dead people, like spirits of the afterlife, or an EVP as what we call it, of people who have actually passed away. And there was actually a book that was published in 1979. It was Phone Calls from the Dead. And then around 1980, William O'Neill, or Bill O'Neill, actually constructed a device called the Spiritcom, and this was used as basically like a white noise generator. And while I'm talking about that, if we're talking about white noise generators, this is a little spirit box, and you can get two different versions. So this is the SB7. You can get the bigger one, which is the SB11, which is like a dual bank. So these basically just work as like a AM radio receiver, and they sweep through the bands of frequencies. So if you can imagine a clock face, instead of the numbers, you've got like different radio frequencies all the way around. As it goes through, it just sweeps through them, and basically just sort of gives you like an area of which spirits can actually talk through this. I have called EVPs before. They are very well known to actually do that. So that's what you're sort of looking at there. It's just sweeping through different bands. They're very successful in capturing EVPs. I like using them. Everyone sort of, I see a lot of people use them. You can get certain apps for your phone. There are certain apps that you can actually use for that. Some of them would be the most popular at the moment is actually the Spirit Talker. There's a lot of people using those. Paranormal Files, Twin Paranormal, like I noticed like those guys, like they love to use those sort of things. Oh my gosh, he uses it as well. There's the Necrophonic app now, Mindset TV. And go to these channels if you haven't heard, like, and I'm mentioning a channel, go to their channel, subscribe, and do the thing there, because all these guys, they're at the top of the game, and that's, I've got a lot of respect for all those guys. So there was, and I was going back to it, the Necrophonic app and the Spirit Talker. Now there's certain other things that you can use, like the SLS camera, which I don't use. It basically makes like little stick figures of spirits wherever they are. It's a very fine line there. It's debatable. I guess it is like any sort of app that I've mentioned. Like they're apps, they're generated for entertainment purposes. But I have to say that using a lot of those apps, I've actually had good results from as well. So I'm not throwing a negative out there. There is the Ovulus as well. That's a word bank, basically like a dictionary, and they work very well. I've seen many times, many videos that I've watched that thing has worked very good. So basically, and I'm going to end this video, just have fun with what you're doing, be safe, tell somebody where you're going to go check it out in the day, and then go back at night. And also probably be mindful of deceased people, different areas, different cultures, historic buildings, places, all that sort of stuff. I do like I've done a few cold case murder areas in Geraldton here, and for the respect of the families and stuff, I don't throw it up on social media or anything like that. So I have been doing this a while. I'm trying to, I'm going to YouTube now. So I just want to say thank you for watching this video, and this is the second part to the introductory. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to drop a video very soon. I've been working on it. Just waiting for all this rain to disappear. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you very soon. Cheers. And this is Jacko and K2 Paranormal.